Is everybody able to hear my voice? Good. So let us start with today's session. Yesterday what we have seen in last session is understanding DBMS without relationship, select query, inner join, outer join, full outer join, right outer join. In this situation, we have also had two open topics. One open topic was when to use outer join. That was one open topic. Another open topic is when we are doing a query with multiple from objects, how the join, without join how it works, with join how it works. These two are the open topics. We'll see as we go. So in today's session, this is from today onwards, it is very important how you test your application under test. So AUT we call it as. What are all the precautions, or how do you know it is the problem is related to the database? How do you know this problem is related to the code? When I say code, there are two aspects to the code. One, I am writing a logic in my business logic layer. If I try to give you some important points behind the application that you see, there are three levels of architecture. One is called desktop architecture, or we call it as, though there is no server, presentation layer, logic layer, everything in my desktop. That is single tier architecture. Second, you have a two-tier architecture. Two-tier architecture is presentation layer and business logic is in my system, that is desktop. Database in the external system or outside my system, that is called two-tier architecture. This is also called client-server technology. This in client-server technology, there will be an exe needs to be installed. Right now, for example, in GoToMeeting or the GoToWebinar that you are all seeing, there will be some installation happens in your machine. That installation is nothing but your client. I have also installed client, you have also installed client, and we have a server which is distributing the information that I show it to you, or my voice to you all. Right? So this is my two-tier architecture. I'll just type it on to the notepad for your easier understanding. I'll just give a font. Later I'll submit all these documents to you. Perfect. So for people, I think today also some new people have joined. Make sure that you go through the recorded session to have the continuity of the class. So we have now three types of architecture on coding, right? When you are bringing an application, one, single tier architecture. Two, this is also called desktop architecture, desktop application, Word, Excel sheet, all these are desktop application. Everything is in your single place. Then client server architecture. So client server is also called two-tier architecture. Right? This is basically you will have a client exe and server. So client will have following things: presentation layer and logic layer. Logic layer is which ensures that your data are right, and I am doing any analytics, anything, I will do it under presentation layer. Server will have database, storage, right? So third, it's a three-tier architecture. Three-tier architecture. In three-tier architecture, you have presentation layer is your browser. Then you have logic, we call it as a business logic, is at app server. Database is at database server. Three different servers altogether, right? So you have three-tier architecture, which is, you can have a multi-layer architecture also. If I must, this is also called multi-tier architecture or multi-layer architecture. So three-tier is a bare minimum requirement. It can be multiple layer as well. So this is all these are explained in my load testing. If you go through the load testing topics in our site, which is available for free, load runner topics, in that all these are explained with more clarity, because current trend, this particular topic is on DBMS, but all this you need to know. So presentation layer is a browser. The browser that you are using is a presentation layer. Business logic is developed in the app servers, and database is database server. So I have a three different server, and I can connect, two different servers, I connect it through my browser. So this is my three-tier architecture. So each of this has a specific emphasis on the way you develop your application. Why I was telling you on this is, I'm going back to the presentation. So when you are talking about atomicity or a problem that you face in the database, you should be aware on exactly which layer the problem is. We are talking about coding, and there are two types of coding. One is procedure level, we call it as a PLSQL. Another is PLSQL is the code written in a database layer, and there is called app code, app servers. So the business logic in the, whatever the code you write it in the business logic is your app server logic. So you will have a DLLs, etc., etc. So right now what we are talking about is, when the problem happens in your UI, you understood there is a problem. Is this problem is because of the code in the logic, business logic, or is this the problem caused because of the wrong coding in the database layer or wrong structure in the database? You should be in a position to clearly understand this. The reason for that is, if you don't understand that clearly, it becomes a weakness for you. So, because as you proceed in your career, you need to know database, you have to be very strong in the database. So for that, this you have, it is very important where the problem is caused, what can be the problem caused or not coded by the developer, which has caused this particular issue. So with that, we will go to today's topic. We try to understand what are all the problems that is caused by a wrong structure. So one is atomicity and consistency. These two are what we are going to see today's as an important point. What is atomicity? This means that each transaction is all or nothing. If I am doing a bulk insert, that is where we are getting into now. Till last day we have seen single insert. Now we are getting into bulk insert. This means that each transaction is all or nothing. Either you store the data, all the data, or you don't store any data. This is the main important point. Either store all transaction data or do not store any data. So this is what atomicity is all about, and this is what we are going to take today. So this is where we are going to start. If you have any queries till this session, you can raise it up as well. Okay. So The relationship is what the most important part. Relationship is how you are going to reference it in your memory. Unless otherwise your reference is strong, you will easily forget what you are learning. So you have to reference from from where we have started the database testing, where we are ending the database testing. Keep the reference intact. Each session is linked to the previous session, and ensure that you go through that session in a crisp way and then try to digest. So right now let us start with atomicity. For that we are planning to create an example. This is what we are going to do. First is to understand this, we are creating these entities. We have yesterday created all the tables and we are now going to insert records. During insert, we are going to see how this begin try, begin transaction, commit transaction, end try, begin catch, getting the error count, etc. All this works. So here the last portion is, you might be worried or you might be thinking how I remember all this. This usually developer does it. If developer, whether he has done it or not, you need to test it. How do I test it? That is what I am trying to tell you here. So developer really done this or not? How do I know? That is what we are going to see here. So with this now, I go back to my MS SQL. I will take, maybe tomorrow, I'll try to take the crisp of what we have seen as on date as being the beginning of the class. So that today I am planned to cover this, so let me cover this, otherwise because we are running short of time. So I will try to take tomorrow the crisp of what we have learned as on date in a sequential way. Perfect. So I will go back now. I am going to the MS SQL. Acknowledge your hand as soon as you see the MS SQL screen. So I am going back now MS SQL. So I have already opened the screen. I am in the DB testing project. Please raise your hand as soon as you are able to see the screen. Perfect. So what is that? First is, yes, last class what we have done, all the scripts I have made a copy. That also I'll try to transfer it today to you. So what we have seen yesterday was under DB testing. Under DB testing, this is what we have created: country master, buyer, item, order master, order details. So if I try to say select star from buyer, just to see what all inside you have. Please note we have not set, I'll just put a comment here. So we have, in this we have not set primary key, foreign key, right, and that's it. So we have not set it. This is for your understanding. So next, use DB testing. I am using whatever I am doing in this project, I am doing it under this project called DB testing. Yesterday we have created this from item, select star from order master, select star from order details. So we had this 4 entities. I just say execute. Now you got the empty data over here. What generally people does, or what a developer does, is this is how they create the table. These are all generally happens when there is no proper documentation in place before you start developing a product. You are developing on a fly, right? As the development goes, you are developing the structure. Then this kind of things will happen. And this is the most common thing in most of the, even the bigger companies. because suddenly you will get a requirement through email, suddenly there will be a pressure to release that product immediately. It will not go through the standard processing rules. Every company, there is a standard process. They will not go through that standard process. So there will be a deviation from that standard process. Whenever there is a deviation to the standard process, you will have the problem of improper structure. That is where the testing becomes crucial. Usually the testing is very crucial in the maintenance project, because maintenance project, by the time it has come to the maintenance, the person who was architectured, who was developed in the company, they might have already gone to another company. So the guy who is now in the maintenance, in charge of the maintenance, he sees everything as a new thing. The probability of mistakes are very high during that time, and that is why database testing becomes very important from the point of release to the client. With that understanding, what I'm going to do now, insert records, 2 records in buyer, 2 records or 5 records in item, right? So these two are the first thing that I'm going to do. So insert, as simple, because it is insert into is the syntax, buyer is our table name starting with the parenthesis. So buyer code, it's a varchar, so separated by a comma, buyer name and buyer code separated by a comma. These two columns I am going to insert, right, with values. The values I am going to give here, buyer 1, B1, I'll make it capital letter. Since it is a string, I need to use a single quote. It is not a double quote in SQL. It is a single quote. Buyer name, I say buyer 1. Right? So I have now created a data for this. I copy this. I want to create 2 buyer. I have created now 2 buyer. Buyer 1, buyer 2. I have created these 2. Right? So I am now going to create another record, 5 items in the item master. So insert, inserting records into item master. So even though I am writing it as buyer 1, buyer, etc., it will be a name, right? So Softsmith is 1 buyer, Accenture is 1 buyer, Oracle is another buyer, in that way. So insert item. What you generally call it as an item. I hope right now the concept we are taking is an ERP concept. So in a ERP concept, the most important part is, I don't know whether it is a buyer master or a buyer. It is buyer item. Okay. So I say item. In an ERP concept, item is the one that you purchase. In a vegetable shop, all the vegetables are individual items. All your cosmetics are individual items. Your computer is an item. So who buys this computer is a buyer. So item code and item name separated by comma, parenthesis closed, values, parenthesis open, value of the item 1, I1, and item name separated by comma. Right? So I copy this 5 times because I need to insert 5 times the value. So item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4, I need to rename it. So item code, item 2, 2. Item code, item 3, 3. Usually when you are doing a first time, right, especially for a developer, I am trying to say for a developer, when they code for the first time, if the requirement is not clear in the first time, you will have a lot of issues. If requirement is clear, first time you never have a issue, right? So I'll go with 6, item 6 as. So this is what I just created now. I'm going to run this. So this will create my entire item master and buyer. So I have 2 buyer and I have 6 records in the item. Execute it. You can see now successfully created.